Udai, is it worth it? 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera T exposed $140,000 for the slowest 911 in the lineup. That's the 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera T. But here's the twist. It comes with a piece of racing history that no other Porsche has as standard equipment. Let's expose what's really going on here. The wooden shift knob nobody talks about. Drop into the driver's seat, fire it up, and reach for the shifter. There it is, a walnut shift knob. Not aluminum, not carbon fiber, wood. This isn't some hipster aesthetic choice. This is Porsche paying homage to their 1970 World Sports Car Championship wins. Back then, engineers discovered that a mahogany shift knob saved 66 grams over aluminum, 2.3 ounces. That's all it took to justify the change on their 908 Spider and 9117 race cars. And yes, Porsche won the championship in 1970 and again in 1971, including Le Mans. So now, that wooden knob sits on top of the only transmission available in the Carrera T, a 6-speed manual. No dual clutch option, no automatic. This is the only 911 variant besides the GT3 that forces you to press a clutch and row your own gears. Chakuan Fa, what they stripped out Porsche, talks about simplicity, but let's be real about what that means. The T comes only with rear-wheel drive, no heavy hybrid battery, no all-wheel drive system. They gave you thinner glass, less sound deadening, and deleted the tiny rear seats, though you can add them back for free if you want. The manual transmission adds lightness compared to the 8-speed dual-clutch automatic. Optional carbon fiber bucket seats save more weight. The result? The test car came in at 3,355 pounds, 117 pounds lighter than a base Carrera they recently tested. Porsche claims 26 pounds of savings when identically equipped, making it the lightest 911 in the lineup, aside from the track-ready GT3 and GT3 RS. What they added. Now here's what you do get as standard equipment. Sport Chrono package, Porsche's adaptive dampers that lower the car by 0.4 inches, rear-wheel steering, a sport exhaust, a front splitter from the 911 GTS, and 20-inch front and 21-inch rear wheels, up an inch from the base Carrera. Those wheels wear 245 section front and 305 section rear Pirelli P0 summer tires. All of those chassis components are specifically retuned for the T. There's a steering wheel control knob for selecting driving modes. Everything is focused on one thing: maximum driver satisfaction. Dissurfi, the power problem. Here's the catch. You're working with the least power in the 911 lineup. The T shares the base Carrera's twin-turbo 3-liter flat-six, making 388 horsepower and 331 pound-feet of torque. In today's era of hypersteroidal horsepower, those numbers aren't impressive on paper, but the reality on the street is different. 0 to 60 happens in 3.7 seconds, as quick as a 668 horsepower Cadillac CT5V Blackwing with the 6-speed manual. Quarter mile comes in 12 seconds flat at 118 miles per hour. The automatic-equipped base Carrera hits 60 in 3.1 seconds and runs the quarter in 11.4 at 121. Thanks to aggressive launch control and faster-than-human shifts. But here's what the numbers don't tell you. Out on the street, the T feels just as quick, if not quicker. Why it feels faster. The light, precise shift linkage and easy-to-modulate clutch encourage constant gear rowing. That keeps the engine out of its lazy low RPM zone. In the lower gears, even from modest RPM, the twin-turbo 6 responds with a ready lunge and a sinister growl. As it approaches the 7,500 RPM redline, it's a lion roaring in your ear. At full throttle, there's a 90-decibel din in the cabin. That could be an OSHA violation if driving a 911 T were considered work. Between the frenzied engine noise and the right-now acceleration, the T feels so responsive that you wonder why anyone would need more power. The T does quiet down to a still loud 77 decibels at a steady 70 miles per hour. You may want to bring noise-cancelling headphones for long trips. At least the ride is acceptably comfortable, calmer than most other 911 models, though the low-profile tires thwack pavement seams and tar strips on interstate drives. Where it justifies its existence, short jaunts, roads that wriggle like a scared snake. Your favorite cloverleaf at full attack, this is where the T makes sense. The steering communicates with clarity, building effort progressively as the front tires work harder. Lean into a sweeping on-ramp with stability control off, and you can feel both ends of the car digging in, tearing at the road. There's 1.07 Gs of grip available. The optional carbon fiber racing seats are necessary for that kind of cornering, even though their tall, rock-hard bolsters make climbing in and out a literal pain. There's enough cornering prowess to make it borderline crazy to exploit all the T's handling on public roads. The brakes haul it down from 70 miles per hour in 143 feet and from 100 in 282 feet. The T should be as much of a joy to hustle on the racetrack as it is on the road. Doubtless, the price problem base price, $140,795. But here's where Porsche gets you. The test car came loaded with options: carbon fiber bucket seats for $6,120, front axle lift system for $3,090, LED matrix headlights for $2,620, Bose sound system for $1,650, gentian blue interior for $3,140, lane change assist for $910, and ice grey metallic paint for $860s. Grand total $162s and $550s. For the slowest 911 you can buy. The good news? You could skip virtually all those extras without diminishing the driving experience one bit. For the base price, you get a focused, purposeful sports car with everything you want and nothing you don't need. The final verdict. So is it worth it? Here's the truth. The 911 Carrera T is for people who understand what driving is supposed to be about. It's not about straight-line speed or luxury amenities. It's about the connection between driver and machine. That wooden shift knob isn't just nostalgia. It's a statement. It says this car is about weight savings, about simplicity, about doing more with less. It's about pressing a clutch, pulling a lever, and feeling the engine respond to your inputs. In a world where every car is getting heavier, more complicated, and more isolated from the driver, the Carrera T goes the opposite direction. It's loud enough to damage your hearing, it's harsh enough to remind you that you're in a sports car, and it costs enough to make you question your financial decisions. But when you're slicing through a canyon road, working that manual transmission, feeling the rear wheel steering help rotate the car through corners, and hearing that flat six scream toward redline, none of that matters. The 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera T is exactly what Porsche says it is. A car that nails its mission of maximum driver satisfaction, sweetened with a connection to their racing past. Something you'll be reminded of every single time you shift. Is it worth $140,000? Only if you're one of the few who still believes that driving should be an active experience, not a passive one.